Hello everyone, my name is Catalyst, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the 6th episode of Battlefield Breakdown, a series in which I analyze elite Battlefield players' gameplay and explain why and how they are able to perform at such a high level. Well folks, the Battlefield Breakdown series continues to become a lot of different things. It's an educational series that highlights different playstyles and how to play like them. It's a series that showcases some serious talent, and it's also a series that highlights the community and some of the insane stuff that the community can do when playing Battlefield, and that's what today's episode is going to be about as we practice our southern draw and talk about the southern sniping specialist, SingleSniper. How about that for some alliteration? Oh, my English degree is going crazy right now. Before we get started today, just a quick reminder, the way the YouTube algorithm suggests content is based on how much you interact with it, so if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more of it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and interact with the video in some way, shape, or form so you don't miss any future uploads or announcements. As a short rundown of how the series works, if you're new here, the players that will be featured in this series will all be content creators, as they are the most accessible for people who want to watch more. As always, you are free to recommend players in the comment section below. And finally, this is not a conversation about who is the overall best player, but instead is a series that highlights certain things that players do exceptionally well. And today we have an episode for all you Recon players out there, those who have a certain affinity for sniping, as we talk about SingleSniper, who is a specialist in aggressive sniping. The format for today's video is going to be a little bit different, and instead of viewing some longer clips where I can really dissect the gameplay, I went and grabbed a bunch of SingleSniper's best Twitch clips to look at, and I'm going to do my best to really show off why his gameplay is so unique. And the reason we are doing this episode of the series in this format is because when planning the video for today and talking with SingleSniper, he told me that he didn't really have a lot of footage of him on hand that he considered to be very teachable or methodical, as he, and I quote, plays like an idiot and gets lucky. And while I'm sure some methodical sniping would definitely be easier material to teach from, humbleness aside, playing like an idiot and getting lucky is exactly what makes SingleSniper and what makes him so damn entertaining to watch.
Who did I kill? Who died?
At the root of it all, SingleSniper has developed a mastering of the basics of FPS, the main one of course being to always look at the center of your screen and use it to the best of your ability, since that is where your aim begins and ends. And obviously this holds a little more weight because he's using a bolt-action rifle and can't really afford to miss with his playstyle. We've talked about aiming at the center of your screen a lot over the course of the series, specifically when we talked about Baranox in episode number 2, but I think SingleSniper might even be a better example as to why looking at the center of your screen can lead to positive results, because if he misses, it puts him at a serious disadvantage because he's not using a full auto rifle. And you'll notice that he has developed this consistency in aim placement with a controller, which can be very hard to do with just a thumbstick. And before some of you cry out aim assist, he plays without snap aim assist, just slow down, which, while it may help a little bit, doesn't really help with the centering of your screen. These underground clips are purely the result of him making sure the center of his screen is aimed at people's heads, and sure, playing like an idiot and getting a little lucky. I also want you to pay attention to SingleSniper's evaluation of the situation here from the first clip and how he moves to close off lines of sight until he can peek his target somewhat safely. Closing off lines of sight like this and using cover is useful for all classes and playstyles and is something to note, but I think it's especially important in Recon. Using the slide to minimize his hitbox and get into cover to rechamber a round is what allows him to stay alive in this clip. And another small thing you might have noticed is that he pulls out his revolver immediately after he fires his shot, regardless of whether or not he feels like he is going to hit the shot or not. This is such a small detail, but reveals a lot about how he thinks as a sniper, as an aggressive Recon, and I find it really cool that even though he is capable of hitting these shots with really quick flicks on a controller, as we have been seeing, but he's anticipating a miss and is preemptively producing a way that he can still win the fight if he does miss. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I think the perfection stigma that I think sometimes is placed on the sniper class, you know, the idea that you need to hit perfect headshots and you need to hit perfect shots all the time in order to be a good sniper, I think that's a gross misinterpretation of how you can correctly play the class, and I see a lot of that in SingleSniper's gameplay. A game style in which he takes a lot of risks and is able to get some really good results and isn't too worried about hitting shots all the time because he recognizes that, hey, you're going to miss every once in a while. Some of the more popular videos on my channel are guides about sniping in Battlefield games, and in those videos I talked a lot about how positioning and knowing common traffic areas is a big part of what can make an okay sniper into a great sniper. And I'm really excited because now I can show you examples with SingleSniper. In this clip, he is on the dock side of Rotterdam and goes on a tear of a kill streak, including a nice collateral headshot here at the end, and nearly every single kill that he gets here is due to his knowledge of the flag and his decision making on how to attack this flag. He begins by peeking the long alleyway to Alpha, which is a common spawn point on this flag, and gets one kill on a player before taking some damage. And at this point, SingleSniper already knows where this guy is based on how he took damage and his prior knowledge of common traffic areas for snipers on this flag. So he finds the gap in the boxes and shoots the player from behind solid cover, and afterwards peeks another common spot for snipers and gets another kill on the other side of the flag where a sniper is peeking from a window, which if you've played any Rotterdam in the 3 years that Battlefield 5 has been out, you know that that is a pretty common spot and it's very easy to find snipers in those windows. Sometimes taking objectives or looking at objectives from different angles apart from the norm, a little bit of a cat and mouse game, is part of what makes really good snipers really good as opposed to your average sniper. And instead of crushing across the street here, he decides to wait a minute for more targets to materialize, and because he decides to do so and play at a range that's beneficial to him on the flank, he gets the sweet drag scope shot and then the collateral headshot I mentioned earlier, and makes it seem effortless because he knew exactly where to look and how to play the flag. Something that I do want to talk about briefly is the mentality that you want to take when sniping and why it's important. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, because I think the misconception is that as a sniper, you can't miss shots, or that a good sniper doesn't miss, and I don't think that's entirely accurate. Well, maybe it's accurate in real life, but in video games, definitely not. And I think that the thought process of thinking that you are not allowed to miss can lead you to becoming unproductive. SingleSniper is always calm when he is playing, and in situations when he misses, he keeps his cool and tries again immediately, either switching to a throwing knife or pistol if necessary, whereas maybe some less experienced snipers may panic in those situations. And what's more is that SingleSniper isn't afraid to miss. The willingness to put shots down range makes him extremely efficient, and I know you might think that's a little bit backwards, but he doesn't waste time lining up a headshot on a tough target. And you may say, well, him missing isn't efficient, but I would counter with what's better, taking no shots and getting no kill, or taking 4 shots and getting 1 kill. One kill, or one way rather, gets you the kill, the other doesn't. SingleSniper misses a shot here in this clip, but instead of panicking, decides to go for 2 body shots to get more bullets down range and ends up getting the kill and wiping out this entire flank. Now here's the part of the video where I kind of just let the clips play and let them speak for themselves. You've heard me use the word specialist earlier in the video to describe SingleSniper, and I truly think that that is the best way to describe his playstyle. He is incredibly adept in knowing his loadout and knows exactly how to treat every situation, especially in close proximity to enemies. We've seen him attack from long range, medium range, and now close range, and he is very good at utilizing the throwing knives and the Mark 6 revolver in his kit, as he just has this unnatural ability to run in and have extreme efficiency, accuracy, and a bit of luck. And even though we have talked a lot about his utilization of the Recon class today, he does it in other classes too, as shown by the opening clip in today's episode where he was going in with a grease gun. That clip was from a 183 kill game that is highlighted on his Twitch channel if you're interested. He could have gone for a 200 kill game, but his internet gave up on him. I think the one thing you'll notice in these throwing knife streaks is his target prioritization and the pacing of his movement. Not only is he extremely accurate with the knives, which can be difficult to throw at times because of their travel time, but also because of the reload-like mechanic that they have and the fact that you cannot spam them so easily. So your timing has to be in sync with how you are attacking your targets, and it allows SingleSniper to be as efficient as possible with the knives, pacing himself as soon as he is reloaded and ready to go so he doesn't push and get himself killed. And in some of these clips, he transitions between all 3 of his weapons when he needs to. It's very impressive. To call SingleSniper a specialist may be a little bit facetious because he does play other classes well too, as he has good decision making and gun skill throughout the entire majority of the game, but I truly cannot think of another way to describe his playstyle and how in a saturated market of Recon players he sets himself apart and plays the game at such a fast, unique pace and with such accuracy and poise that I can't help but consider him to be one of the best snipers playing the game today. That's the end of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank SingleSniper for collaborating with me on this episode and for sending me his gameplay. I greatly appreciate it. As always, the link to the content creators' channels will be in the description below. Who would you like to see me break down next? Comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it and interact with it. Subscribe if you're new and turn on post notifications so you don't miss other uploads and episodes. I stream 4 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Twitch, link in the description below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.